What would the opposite of stasis be? Did we talk about that already?
Not really. Speed up time.
Yeah,
Super
just
speed.
make
Yeah.
make them do their pathfinding more, or make trees grow more. I guess that'd be kind of a
Yeah.
unique thing on each environmental thing, whatever it does.
Yeah. I mean, we could think of it as freeze and haste or something like that. Slow and haste. And then, like, in my mind, stasis is just like a really strong slow.
I'm gonna put it in. I like stasis. I'm gonna put it in as stasis and accelerate.
Hmm.
Stasis and accelerate. I should get. I'm just trying to get a comprehensive list right now, so actually that might help while we're looking at these effects to see what we have, what we're like, oh, that'd be cool for that. Also, I'm not stepping on your. I know you want to get into this kind of stuff, so I'm not stepping on your toes by just buying something, am I?
I mean, if it's, I can always replace it later, right? If I want to do it.
Yeah,
So,
sure, that's fair. I just want to inspire me to want to work more on it. I'd like to have some nice looking effects for when the orbs are when the runes are activated and that kind of thing. That would inspire me. When things look pretty, I want to work on. Oh wait. Hey, there's our man. There's our boy, our beautiful
that's my
boy.
big boy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
I can't hear you. That's what's going on.
You're also super loud to me because I turned you up way loud last time, and now your mic seems to have recalibrated. Let me turn you down. He can't hear us, did he say?
I'm sorry, I was not. I'm talking to someone for a class thing, or
There you go.
stepping on someone.
Can you hear us,
Yeah,
Jeff?
now he sounds like I can hear
Yes,
him.
hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
All right. Real quick, before we go through this stuff, I just want to get a list of the effects we have so that we can say, oh, this would look cool for that, and this we could use for that. So far we have grow, shrink, um, duplicate, combine, and let's call it attract, repel. Stasis and accelerator going in. We might have animate, petrify, and we might have okay.
No, I'm on Discord.
Alright. So, I'll just share my screen. Marcus was talking to someone for one of his classes. I'm not sure if he's back yet. But,
I just need like 2 minutes.
no worries. I will, in the meantime, explain. So Jeff, what do you know about this game so far?
I've been reading. I know most of what's going on, I think.
So we have these are the spells we have so far. A shrink grow spell, which so right now that's mapped. Right now they're all the ones that we are working on are mapped to simple symbols, simple shapes. But eventually they'll be mapped to more complex symbols. But because of the properties of the shapes, I'm sort of designing the properties of the way the spell works. So for example, the combine and duplicate one, it's like you draw a triangle shaped thing on the ground, and on the corner, the 3 corners of the triangle, you put either one thing and then you activate the rune and it poof, the one thing turns into 2 things, or you put 2 things on the corners of the triangle and they combine their meshes into one thing. The third I wonder what happens if you put one on every corner. Maybe it just explodes. Anyway, maybe lots of spells just explode if you try non-logical stuff. So yeah, so that's that one. The grow shrink one is you draw a circle right now, and if it's a smaller than you circle, you shrink to fit the smaller than you circle. If it's a bigger than you circle, you grow to be as big as the circle. And then Marcus did attract and repel, which is it just turns your gravity. We only have the repel right now, which basically turns your gravity off and makes you float. And we'll also do one that will pull things towards it, so you can draw, you know, from the direction they're facing. So it's like a magnet sort of. And eventually there will be a stasis / accelerate. So stasis is just like, you know, Breath of the Wild stasis pretty much.
Yeah.
Accelerate will literally speed up time. Ooh, maybe Marcus a zone in zone thing for that, or maybe you eventually figure out how to like literally speed up the time of the whole game with some special rune. Anyway, animate.
Yeah, we could try to put game objects on some sort of tick
Yeah,
and speed up the tick for the game objects.
right. Yes, we should think about
Actually
that
gonna
now.
go on a walk with Chelsea, so if you just want to show me this thing you've got.
Okay, so let me show the actual things. Are you watching my screen? Or you can just bring it up yourself also. It's in the Heartlamp chat. The ones I'm looking at are Magic Effects Pack 1 versus Realistic Effects Pack 4, I think. Yeah, Realistic Effects Pack 4 or Magic Effects Pack 1. I'm going to watch it in the stream, so you can feel free to watch it there.
Yes, I'm watching it there.
Not sure how good quality you get. It's a very
Well, it looks pretty good.
yeah. So this is the Magic Effects Pack, and then there's the Visual Effects Pack, which is basically a version like very similar to this but slightly different. So we got
That one looks good for like some sort of recombining kind of
yes, exactly, the pulling
transformation
together.
thing.
Go. These are just different colors of this one. Let's fast forward a little bit. Here's like a smoky one. The ones in the middle are the ones I really like. Why is this on volume slider? Nope, I want to fast forward. There we go. Okay. You know, so a bunch of
Yeah.
particle effects lines. Here's a lightning-y one. Slow moving. Here's a fireball one. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Here's one with a fireball and a nice explosion.
I do like that ground effect.
Yeah, wait till you see the lightning one. The lightning one's amazing. I was surprised how cheap this was, honestly. It's expensive, but it's not. Here's a nice one. There may be a, I don't, we haven't really decided whether we're keeping fire or we want to have a fire ice or something. I like this one a lot. I like the ones that do like little sparks on the ground a lot.
Yeah, that looks cool. That would be a good one for like the pulling apart thing or whatever you're talking about.
Yeah,
The separating or
this lightning one is my favorite one in here. I love it.
yeah,
Here's
like
a,
a firework.
yeah. Here's a like a you're controlling a water orb kind of one. I think so I like this, and there's also, where is it? There's also a bigger like rounder one like this. I really
Mhm.
like I really like the well, let me make sure I'm capturing this on my actual stream. I am not, god damn it. Let me go to screen cap. Alright. Where am I here? Okay. So, okay. This one I feel like could be good for a stasis if we got rid of the water effects coming off of the bottom of it and just did like the,
Yeah, more like a gravity looking
yeah.
kind of.
So the push-pull one actually, is actually one where I'm struggling to find some. I did find a tutorial for like a zone-based one. Cause that,
You need to like I don't know what do they use in Star Wars games for like force pull? 'Cause like you need like a wave, like a whoop,
yeah.
whoop, 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 whoop.
I mean, we could probably do that. We could probably just do a bunch of little, where are they? Where's the orb one of this? So like this orb that he
Or
shoots,
just
we could probably do a bunch of, see the trails on that? We could probably get rid of that orb and just use the trails.
yeah, yeah.
There's a bunch of lightning-y ones with also trails. It's just like a bunch of force field ones. Well, here's like a,
You could do something like that, like for these flowery things. If you can control the rate at which they move.
I think you can
And
define, I think this guy at least has tutorials on how to set, is Dave in here? I had sound like Dave.
I'm near you.
There's at least a way to set paths if you're doing it from scratch. I don't know if I use these, if I can't use those paths, but I think I probably should be able to. It may just take some tinkering. I like these little
It's neat that they're
wavy,
interactive, that they'll track to the other particle effects.
yeah, that is cool. I don't know what we would use it for, but I really like these little yellow spark things coming out here.
And you don't have to figure that out. Really, like just find the. I think really the answer is find the tool that has the most customizable, like so that we can use these things.
I think these are all
Um,
made in Unity VFX, and this is just a pack selling you a bunch of VFX assets, I believe, is how it works.
at that point, like that seems super customizable. So
Yeah,
you know that seems like a good option.
I like
Like
that.
so, these are all using the VFX graph, and
I think so,
I
because
assume they have custom shaders and textures probably.
I,
Because like a lot of particle effects and VFX are actually drawn textures.
let me see what it actually is. So this is a particle pack, best particle pack I have ever seen. I do
Yeah,
also
like
have some VFX stuff in here that is tutorials to make them in Unity, which
You'd be
are
surprised how much of it actually requires you drawing textures though. Like, and it takes a base texture and uses that base texture to like warps it, modifies it. But a lot of times it's still important to have someone drawing base textures. I assume it has those assets for us to use.
yeah, but
Um,
some of the yeah. So like if I these tutorials do have like for example, I don't know if I have it here, but there was like a slash one. See if I can find it. It's on this guy's channel. This guy has lots of great tutorials for this stuff. He's the one who did the grow shader actually that we saw earlier. We were talking about for the Necro Desert thing. Where is that one? Ground slash. So like yeah, like I think he does textures in here. He also does like a model in Unity for the slash, or in Blender rather for the slash part. So yeah, that stuff is like slightly more work. I'm not sure how customizable this pack that I'm literally buying today will be.
I mean, can you look at the package content and
Yes,
see? You can
yes.
probably look at the file
I see.
there if you open the directory.
Okay, there's more in here than I thought there would be. Textures,
Textures,
shaders.
shaders. Yeah, it's using a bunch of custom shit, which is fine. We would just have to play it. I'm sure we could play around with it.
Like you said,
And
you can if you want to do this stuff because I know you are looking to get into this stuff as a career. Like
yeah, well, I
I
mean, I'll never be able to do it as or not never, but I won't be able to do it as well as these people that are dedicated that make an income off of selling these packs do. They clearly are like have done this,
It
but are
doesn't
like
matter.
way more experienced
Even if it's
and
not
have
as good,
been.
if it's fitting for the game, and we can
Yeah.
do like a maybe like a we
Well, the
could.
point being is like there's no reason not to just if you are gonna buy if you want to buy it, $37 really isn't that much, and play around with it, and then yeah, we can just replace it later. Like I take no I find no shame in the fact that in using someone else's things like this is what they do. This is how they make their living. They sell these packs and they spend all their time making these packs.
Yeah, yeah. This guy puts a lot. This guy is definitely the best person on the asset store, and his stuff is
Oh, I
real.
like how they like magnets to him and sucks them in.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like a shader variable. Like
Ooh,
it detects the collision and then tells like
That might be a good like stasis
yes, I
thing.
was just gonna say exactly that. This looks like a nice stasis one. There is I
A
did
very
little
Protoss like
sci-fi.
yeah. I did find a very similar tutorial for how to do that one. So if we do decide to go with the other pack, we can have an effect like that. Where did I put that? Right here. I have this one, which is very similar. I'm not sure how to get it to interact with things, but we can certainly do. We can certainly
That's
have.
usually done in the shader from my brief experience.
Yeah, yeah. So like,
Like the shader will accept variables that allow you to
What's
move
up, guys? Welcome
the
back
shit
to Gabriel
and
again.
focus it in specific spots. So you would just like feed it a vector 3 of the last hit and it would go there and then eventually expand out.
can't tell. Are these interacting? I don't know, but like
Kinda. It looks like the
I
hexagons
actually kind of
on
like this one
will
better.
line up.
How it breathes like that.
Hmm.
So if we do go with the other pack, if I do buy the other pack, we can always have this for stasis still. Dave, here, these are the list of the spells we have so far just to catch you up. So Grow Shrink, Duplicate Combine, Attract Repel, Stasis Accelerate, which is like, time freeze, time go forward. Animate and Petrify, which brings things to life, or turns them to stone. And that's it. Alright. Fire something, maybe. Um, ba 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 ba. So yeah, we're almost at the end of this one. Dave missed the only cool thing Dave missed, I think, is my favorite one in here that I think looks awesome is this lightning. Not sure if he's even listening, but excuse to look at the lightning again.
Yeah, the sparks on the ground.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I also was saying before, my top like things in here, yeah, that one for the stasis. There's also another one here earlier that was good for stasis. Wherever it is. It's kind of like a watery, here it is. I think that if we got rid of the water on the bottom, this would be a cool one for stasis maybe. There were some leaves over here I thought could be cool, like leafy looking ones that I thought could look cool for like time speed up. That's most of this one. Ooh, look at that. Maybe that's the rune one. It's just, well, if we could figure out how to make this, something like this track to the rune shape.
Well, that is like, so that's probably a
That's a
texture on the
texture. Yeah,
ground.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
and then he's just altering the way
Could
you
your image
view
file
it.
be that texture?
Yeah, you just have to draw it and say, you know, probably, I assume it's like a vectorized image or something, so something that you'd want to draw in like Illustrator maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it is just a single size. But regardless, yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. A lot of times when you want something that looks more uniform and specifically shaped, you do something like that. And then they probably just literally throw it on a quad and put it on the bottom. And it's probably the combination of multiple effects. Like, so that is a quad on the bottom with a texture drawn across it, and then just has some like little distortion to the texture.
I gotta go. I'll look at that other video later.
Okay, yeah, Visual Effects 4.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And then like these particle effects are probably like if you look at that right here, right? So the thing on the ground there is most likely just a quad, like a plane on the ground with that on it. And then these texture effects might be mapped to a cylinder.
Yeah, just they know the
Or
perfect.
sorry, the particle effects rather might be mapped to like a cylinder that goes around, and that might be how they're getting them. Or it might just be regular particle and like multiple particle emitters around the range of the cylinder. But
So, like, I guess my question is, could we take what the player has drawn on the ground, pass the image into the texture quad thing, and then
yeah, probably. We'd
and
probably
then
be able to just replace the texture, the source texture.
right, and then like these particles, instead of mapping them to a cylinder, we map them to whatever collider the rune creates.
Yeah. Because when the rune that is made and passed into the classifier is a texture, it's passed in as a texture. So it takes a picture of it and stores that picture as a 2D texture. So.
All right, screw it. Where is this? Let's go here. Let's see the other pack now. So I actually do think this one is better bang for your buck. Like, it's got more in it. It looks like it's got more in it. It's got more variability, but there's just some things I really like in the one we just watched that I really want. So let's see. Oh no, I'll have to switch back over here. Damn it. This thing breaking really sucks. Constantly. The Stream Deck would be such an awesome thing if it didn't constantly break.
I feel like I remember Giant Bomb saying something similar.
Like, it just constantly needs to be plugged in and out. That's the only problem with it. It works fantastically otherwise.
Just have a reset button on it.
Exactly, yeah. Literally. Alright. Let us watch this one. It's by the same guy, very similar stuff. There's another like $2 or $5 one I might get on top of these, but it's mainly between these two. Here's some cool beams. I like how here's this swirly ass water thing. This is probably made using the exact same particles and effects as the other one. It's just the way he's done them as an asset.
Animations on them.
Yeah. Fire coming out the ground.
I mean, seeing this animation, just with different shaders on it already.
I mean, it always is like one animation with a bunch of different versions of the shader and colors.
Okay.
And then, so like this one, here's a circle with some fire coming off. Here's a rock one. Does rocks disappear? Or did you lit? Yeah, okay. Ooh, that's cool. Look at that. Sucks the other particles
Gravity.
towards it. This would be really
Yeah,
good.
I mean, we could do that without special effects,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we would also want to do.
That's not special effects. That's just
That's mechanic.
programming.
That's
Yeah, that's just a script that looks for any game object with a rigid body within a certain dome, within a sphere, and then
Well, so what I'm saying is
pulls
these
it.
don't have to be rocks, though, right? These could be other particles that get pulled towards it as part of the effect, too.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Ooh, I like this dissolve one a lot.
The dissolve is one of the easiest ones to do.
Really? Okay, maybe you just do that one then.
Dissolve is super
That's
easy.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. Okay.
Dissolve is like you're learning shader programming.
All right. The fact that you
like
can do
it's a
that
donut
is
of
making this one
shaded
fall.
pixels.
This pack fall. Even though this pack has looked cool so far, it falls even lower in my mind because you could just do the dissolve pretty easily. You said so. That's fine. But I really do like. Where was it?
That's cool.
What?
Actually, the meteor one,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because it comes out of a portal, like it's
That is neat. The
and
portal.
like see how he spins the camera and so it's truly in world.
Yeah. That is neat. Ah,
I'd
shoot.
like to see how
I
that's
didn't even
done. I
notice
mean, it
that
must just be
before.
done with math, but it's interesting.
Where was the thing I really liked before in here? There's something else I thought of that looked good. Whatever. That's cool. The puff out. Beams, it looks like. Ooh, that ice looks nice. That crack looks nice. Oh. I don't know if we're gonna have like a proper
Stasis.
ice spell, but yeah, you could do it, make it green and that's or something. And
Isostasis. Just have it all elemental based. Isostasis.
I don't like that. I don't love element. I don't love it. Well, unless the elements. I love how in Adventure Time there's like fire, ice, blah blah blah, slime. I love that. But like I like the four elements thing is not. If they were weird, I'd be into it. If they were like the sort of standard ones, I would not.
It's strictly just a flavor thing.
Yeah, it is not my flavor. Part of the reason I have a hard time with.
Chris's flavor is slime. You know this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. This is cool. This would be a good one for like the duplicate or combine. Just shoot this little beam between all the things. Although I guess we could also do that pretty easily.
Yeah, that's just he's just showing use cases now. Like some of these are repeated effects, but he's just showing, hey, here's like some more interesting ways you can use these existing effects.
What's this one? Oh, there's like a dude coming out of the ground on that one. I don't really think that's the kind of one we're going for in this game. Those look neat though, really neat. So if we did do an element, like a literal, like nature element for each of those spells, Dave, what would you say should be for each one?
I don't know. Where are all the spells again? They're in Discord?
They are, sorry, I don't know if I pasted them in. They're just in my Discord. So yeah, grow, shrink, combine, duplicate, attract, repel, stasis, accelerate, animate, petrify. Because if we did do like a elements thing, I wouldn't mind having a fire element thing, and which of these would represent fire? That would. Although I did just want the fire spell to just make fire, so I don't know.
Grow
Something.
shrink would be Earth/nature. Duplicate I don't know. Attract. / repel. Gravity. Stasis, accelerate. That's just time. Time is an element now.
Time's fine. The weirder the better.
Animate.
They don't have to fit into
There's
the.
petrify.
I would think grow, shrink, like. I'm trying to think of like.
Well, the way I'm thinking of it, if you would do like a elemental thing, like each spell like represents an element or goes into an elemental class. Like I would think of it as like what would, like the way I had envisioned a potential way to like activate runes, to have like the activator rune which needs to like touch or sense something, right? Activate the runes, but you can just have that baked into the runes themselves, I guess, and then. So then, like, what elemental things would cause these things to go off? Like grow, shrink.
What if it was like, this isn't like
Like a fire rune would need an ember to set it off and stuff. But
what if it's like, maybe this goes against the. What if it's like you know, each of these runes are the symbol of a god, and we haven't really decided yet whether we want this to just be like nature or like god or gods. But what if it's a pantheon of gods, and it's like I'm not sure about this idea, just throwing it out there, and it's like the grow, shrink is like, I don't know, you give them stuff like, I'm not sure which would go to which, but like the god, god of war, god of childbirth, god of fertility, god of whatever, and then map those to these, or like god and anti-god for each of these, something like that. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean that stuff can come in.
Yeah,
over
none of this
time.
really affects anything.
No, it doesn't. I mean, your thing kind of does though.
My idea, if it was elemental, which I like the idea of like, because then there's like this, it makes it like a science to it, like I'm combining these symbols and base elements to create magic.
I do want, so I did put this up here for split. Oh, I forgot to put this one. Split and assemble is also a maybe. This is a maybe one. So I have like a mesh cutter one, and I thought maybe we could do like a split things by drawing like a belt around. We should have talked about this playing Hunt yesterday. And so split assemble. I did think, so what would the opposite of split be? Assemble would maybe just put the meshes back together, simple, right? Or maybe there's a system for getting reagents, which like something like you use this is like your main, split is like your main harvesting mechanic. So you split something like a tree branch, and then you split it again into a bunch of things, and then they each become a piece of wood, which is a reagent for something, like a little circle of wood, like the shape of the branch. And then you might, cut that 2 more times, and it becomes dust, right? And maybe the assemble ability will bring it back in one step in that progression, as well as putting it back together.
I think the assemble spell should just turn both objects you're trying to mash together.
That's combine.
Like
we have one for, I think, what you're about to say. Go ahead, I interrupted you.
They just get gravity towards each other and magnet towards each other, and then stick that way.
So that I pictured as something, if you put attract onto two things instead of on the ground, that would be the magnetize. And repel, same thing, so like anti-magnetize. So if you draw the attract symbol on 2 things, they'll be attracted to each other. Repel symbol on 2 things, they will be repelled from each other. That's the way I was thinking for a magnetized one. I thought you were gonna say like their meshes combine, they literally like get meshed together like a Frankenstein, and that's sort of like combined.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was like. They attract towards each other, and then wherever they hit, they're glued together.
Interesting. Actually, maybe that is better. But I do like the idea. I don't know. There's something to this idea of like, if there's going to be any surviving, any crafting of reagents, we haven't 100% committed to reagents yet. I know that, but I do like you should have something. You should be collecting things that are. It's not like survival game like with a hunger bar and everything, but I want this game to have an inventory. I want collecting things to be part of. I think I don't want it necessarily, but I'm like 60 or 70% in the favor that will, you know. So if the theme of the game is about nature and gods and your interaction with them and you're harvesting lots of stuff, there is like a tendency in survival games, in actual survival games, I think, to like to have this mindset of like you conquering the land and like gathering things from it. And maybe in this game you can do that to make reagents, but you're punished if you do it. Like the gods and nature don't like that.
Well,
Or something like that.
there was something I thought about for maybe the reagents you could just get from anything, right? And they are elemental, let's say. Like you see a rock or a tree or something, and you put like maybe you like have to suck them out of, you know, the of nature to give you a reagent. Like so you put the draw out. Well, then how would you activate the draw out rune?
See, I
I
like
don't
the
know.
slicing one for that. You just slice the thing, it becomes two different things. But I don't know if that's maybe. I understand if people don't like that idea. That it does make it the big thing to say your whole harvest everything is based around this one spell. So I'm not 100% sure about that either. Let's keep watching videos of effects. Inspiration. Where? Okay. Actually, let's just speed this up a little bit, and then we'll slow down if we find something that looks cool. Alright, different colors, we got it. That one. That's a cool fissure in the earth thing. That's a little bit like that portal type thing. It just changes the geometry. It appears to change the geometry. That would be cool if you were like combining runes or like some sort of advanced spell where.
Well, I gotta get Birdie ready for Dad to come take her for a walk.
Let me slow this one down because I want to see how it's in normal speed. About the same. It does look much better.
Yeah, if you put one of those on each corner or whatever, and then
Yeah, like but maybe before the combined thing activates, it's charging up.
yeah.
Some roots. All right, that's pretty much it. I do also have there's a nice like cheap $5 one. Apparently you can also do this, use this same shader thing to make trees on the graphics card. Here's like a $5 one that's got one neat effect in it. Might be good for like the circle or the grow. Why is the asset store taking fucking forever to load? Oh, this link works. Oh, okay. Try this again. Fine, we'll just find it through the asset store. Is the Unity asset store just down right now? I don't know. Wait, there it goes.
Yeah, it seems much more basic already, I can tell.
Yeah, this one's $5, but I do like this.
Well, that's super easy to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we could do that and no problem. Like so that's again like probably just quads. There's probably an inner quad, an outer quad, and they're literally like the quads aren't moving, but there's a shader in there to like swing around, and then there's that aura halo effect is a cylinder.
Yeah, sure that sounds right. So, what's your vote, Marcus? The first pack or the second pack? What do you think I should buy? I don't know. I don't want to buy them both. The one's $42, the other one's 37, and I just don't want to spend that much right now. I will probably eventually get them both, but I'll wait for like.
Just buy whatever you want. Do it because I don't think it's gonna matter so much in the long run. Like, because by the time we settle on something, uh, we are probably gonna be mixing and matching, and if this thing ever does make it to market kind of thing, we'll have some that we did ourselves. We'll probably have some that we steal from different packs, kind of stuff like that. So I think just go with whatever one. If you want to go with the cheaper one because it's cheaper, I think that's reasonable.
The
Or if you
real, the
like
real
really
thing
like
is
that
like,
lightning effect, then like grab it. Why not?
I like the lightning, I like the water, and some of the stasis like looking ones in this one. And for the 4-1, which one did I like? I liked the the void one. The void one you pointed out was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm curious as to how he makes it work. Uh, I guess.
I'm gonna put an implicit vote for this pack for you since you seem impressed by that one.
Yeah. I'm
Let's-
sure it's not as complicated as I'm making it out to be, but I feel like it would have to be like, because if he almost like he's accessing the rendering pipeline to do that one, but it's not. He's just doing it with math, and the math to do that is just kind of complicated, I imagine. Because like it'd be easy to do in a rendering pipeline, because then you could just define, those things as meshes, and then it becomes a little bit more obvious. But when you're just doing it with math, it becomes a little bit more complicated.
What what ability would we, if we did use the portal thing or do something like it, what ability would it go with? I guess.
Sorry, what?
What if we did use the vortex for something or something like it? What would it go with? We did talk about. Oh, I forgot about that one. We did talk about like a reveal spell, like reveal behind things or reveal secret places kind of thing spell.
Yeah, I don't know how, I don't know if that makes a ton of sense in the context of the game that we have going now. But we'll see. Uh,
Wait,
the
yeah,
reveal,
the void. You mean the use of the void thing or the use of
the
the
use of the
secret
reveal
place thing? Oh
spell.
yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I don't know. To me, it's the void versus the lightning and the void versus the lightning and the water effects from the other one. Like, there are way cooler. I feel like there's way cooler ones. Like the void one is awesome. There's like way more wowy ones in the second one, but like I just feel like the first one I could think of so many ways to just slightly change these to have them stand in for what we have going now. And,
Yeah, I don't think.
it's the short-term thing anyway, so maybe that's the best decision.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with that. I think that is like I said. I think by the time if this thing ever does make it to market, we'll be mixing and matching anyway, so it won't matter. Like
Dave,
what we got first, kind of thing.
um, so do you have any vote for which effects pack you like better? So to me, it's
And they look pretty similar.
they do. The one to me, the real question is the void spell in this. What would you rather lose out on? Where is the void spell? It's too far, I think. Let's go back. It's on the meteor. Here. I mean, this one is more elementally if we do go with an elementally more style thing. Where the fuck is it? There it is. This? Would you rather lose this orb thing, or sorry, portal opening in another universe asshole, or to me in this one the standouts are the like this, the one at the end for the stasis, and the lightning one. And honestly, the real strength of this pack I think is I could think of so many things that we already have, spells that we already have, and just slight tweaks to these effects that I could make right now to make it look like go pretty well with what we have. Plus this one has the rune thing at the end too, and we could adjust that to work off of Marcus's image. I'm really leaning towards this one, but is the void cool enough to?
I mean, the void again. That's the.
It's just the one where you
Faceless Void's
where
asshole
the meteor
appears,
comes out of
and the
it
meteor
opens
comes
like
out.
yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one. Whatever.
It's just neat that like if you look at it in slow motion, you can see.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
cool
yeah.
Portal effect.
diegetic thing, but
Yeah. You can see how it like literally from any angle, it is truly in world space. Like it's not just a trick of the like if you move the camera, it's not like billboarding or anything. It's truly
This one
doing
does
that in the
also have
world
some
space.
cool like push and pull of other particle things in it too. That is really neat. I'll eventually get them both though, right? Like I want
how
to
much
have
these
them
things
for.
cost?
Well, this one's 42, the other one's 37.
Oh,
42 and 37. Marcus seems relative to have not much of a strong opinion either way. Dave, you
I don't mind losing on the meteor spell. That's
okay?
the only thing.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the third one unless Jeff changes my mind. My mind could be changed. I like them both. All right, I got everyone's. Are you guys around for games tonight?
I work tomorrow, so probably not.
I might be around. I'm not sure yet.
I bought that Immortality game. I might play it. It's a very good watched and play together game if anyone's interested. Literally just watching FMV videos and solving some kind of story mystery.
Down type of shit.
Well, I might start it up in like 10 minutes here. I'll be back.